Hey, welcome to I'm Right. The show will start and we will be live right here for you. So the show will start in about 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Now, also, this is something I always neglect to remind all of you, but please remember to like and subscribe this show. It does help us a lot and helps with our ratings and everything else. So if you can do that, that would be fabulous. Also, know that if you are watching this in replay or listening to it in replay, you can fast forward right past this spot and get into the show. That's what you can do. So if you don't feel like listening to me ramble on about what you can do and cannot do, just fast forward through this and all will be okay. Now, if you are here live, know that on YouTube and Facebook, you can make your comments and questions live right here, and we will see them, and the audience will also see them. So it'll be your moment of fame. Yeah, so know that you can do that because, as I always say, you help make the show better. We love audience participation. We really do. And, you know, our audience seems to just keep us laughing all the time. And we just love it. We love it. So we have approximately 2 minutes and 40 seconds. And I'm right with me, Anthony Cordova, and my lovely wife, Jill Cox-Cordova, will be here live. And again, if you are listening to this in replay or watching it in replay, you can fast forward right past this portion and get right into the show, where you will see Jill and I, just like you see on the graphic in front of you. I'm right, every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. So, but again, remember, we love to see you here live. Now, also, if you just don't want to make comments and you want to be heard, you want the audience to hear your voice, there is a link on Facebook and YouTube, and all you have to do is click that link and follow the prompts, and it will bring you live into the show so the audience can see you and hear you. But if you don't want to be seen, you just don't turn on your camera, and that's all you got to do. So do that. We haven't had a lot of people do that this time, unless they were a guest. But you don't have to be an official guest to get on the show and be seen. So maybe someone will try that tonight. We would love it. We've got about 1 minute left to showtime, so please stand by. Alrighty, it's almost showtime. We have about 30 seconds. So if you are listening to this in replay, you can just wait a few more seconds and you will see us and hear us. All right, well, the show starts in 20 seconds, and see you then. Here we are.
We're here. Greetings, everyone.
Greetings. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. This is I'm Right.
I'm right.
And I'm Jill Cox-Cordova.
I'm Anthony Cordova.
And it's Wednesday, and that means we're here. We're back.
It is Wednesday. I like Wednesdays.
I do too. We're not always here every Wednesday, but we try.
Isn't like soon we have another engagement on Wednesday?
Yes.
What is that? What is that? What are we doing, Jill?
It's a secret. We'll tell you after the fact. We'll tell you after the fact.
But the hint is, here's a hint. We have to be with the stars. That's my hint.
We have to be with the stars?
We have to be with the stars on one of these upcoming Wednesdays. And we will not do the show that night because we're going to be with the stars.
That is correct. So This month, we have one more show this month. And then we're going to this secret event that we'll tell you about in June, because also the Wednesday after that, we're not here either.
We're not? Oh, where are we going to be?
Now that I can tell. We'll be in Louisville.
In Louisville.
Kentucky.
In Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville.
Louisville.
Louisville. Louisville. All right, we're getting comments that are pretty funny already.
Yes, because I saw the comments popping up and it just made me laugh. I'm like, what the heck? What the heck is that?
So first of all, Connie and Ronaldo are here. Woo!
Hey, y'all.
Hey. Thank you for being here and for all your support.
Thank you.
And John Boltman is also here. And this is the comment you were laughing at,
yes,
I do believe.
Yes, it is.
Stand by your stance. Yank up your pants. Time for the Wednesday night antler dance. What's that say?
It looks like that's what it says. Night antler dance. Stand by your stance. Yank up your pants. Time for the Wednesday night
antler dance.
Maybe we need John to sing that for us.
Oh, that would be fun.
You can do that, John.
We'll make it like our theme song.
All you have to do, no, I'm talking about right now. All you have to do is hit the link that will bring you right into the show.
And when he does it, I'll put up the comment again. I hope everything is okay.
Yeah.
With Facebook. We're getting error messages.
Oh my goodness.
He says, the antler dance was performed by James Taylor on SNL. I missed that, but I'll have to go back and see it.
I actually do remember that. I do remember that one.
I'll have to go back and watch that. I like James Taylor.
A long time ago. Yeah.
And to think of him, I'm trying to picture him doing an antler dance. Oh, is that what is that how it goes?
Prancing.
That looks like the break dance that the Australian did at the Olympics. That's what that looks like, except she was hopping like a bunny.
She did the bunny hop. That was so funny. Oh,
but I like that, John. I'm gonna copy that down, and maybe when we get to that segment, we'll have to say this after that. After the sound of our segment.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, Tony said in the preamble to the show, his comments before the show, he said, we really like it when our audience comes and comments because you all are really funny.
Yes, and John is very good at that.
Yes.
He's very good. John, we want to get you on the show. We do.
Oh, John would be fun. John has always been fun.
We want to get you here. We'll give you your own box.
You can't put John in a box.
We'll give you your own box. So Jill and I will have a box.
You can't put John in a box.
And John will have a box. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be good.
All right.
It will.
Are you ready?
John might want his own box. Separate, like from us.
From us.
He might not want to
So we'll
share
have to go
the
from
box.
back and forth. He doesn't want to be split screen.
Yeah, no, he don't want to share the box. He wants his own separate box.
Well, he is a
full
star in
screen.
that way. He's a star in that
Yeah.
way, but he's not a Devo.
Devo.
Yeah, he's not.
Okay. Since the last you talked to him.
He says label it TV scum. Last week, if you don't know this reference, last week he was talking about this restaurant in Charlotte where he would go, and TV people were one end, print people at another, and when John walks in, a print person called him TV scum. As you know, print people don't understand TV people.
Were there any radio
Although
people there?
I was considered bilingual because
you
I
did
do
print.
both print and TV.
Yeah.
So I was considered bilingual. But sometimes,
But no radio
things got
people?
lost in translation.
There was no radio people hanging out in the bar?
Nah.
You walk in the bar.
I've only met one set. No, I shouldn't say that. That's not true. I was getting ready to say I've only lived in one place where the radio people were as cool as the TV people. And that was
telling
in
you,
Minneapolis at KMOJ, which is the radio station that first put Prince music on the air. So they were all pretty cool. But that's not true because NPR people are cool too.
I'm telling you, I see a joke in this. There was a TV person, a radio person, and a newsprint person sitting
And we all walked in a
bar. And then what happened? I'm going to think of a joke.
And John added on, you can put me in a lower third bubble like they would do for viewers who are blind.
We can do that.
We can actually do that.
We can do that.
Careful what you ask for. And then Connie says, hello, my favorites. Oh, Connie's one of my favorites,
Hey,
too.
Connie,
Hi,
hello.
Connie.
Sorry I missed you when I was in Texas a few weeks ago.
I get to talk to her in a couple of days. Because that's what we sisters-in-law do,
Okay.
We're a posse.
Cool.
We're cool like that.
Cool. So, Jill, maybe
Yes.
we should get into the topic of the show this evening.
Are we going to do our little song that John told us about when we do the segment? Well, first of all, I guess we should tell what the topic is. I'm all over the place tonight, aren't I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, the topic is, what is our topic? Oh, working
on.
while sick.
Working while sick.
Yes,
Should you
there's
go
a
to work?
large population of people who work outside the home. Well, sometimes remotely.
But people that
who
go
go
work
to
while they're sick.
work while they're sick.
What's up
Help
with-
me
what is-
understand.
What is up with that?
Help me understand that. It's part of a segment that we call
What do we call it?
Stand by your
Yes, we call it
stands.
Stand by your
Yank
stands.
Up Your Pants. Time for the Wednesday
Ooh, what's this? This is
night
new.
antler dance.
You got
You didn't do it with me. Catch up.
Did you see that? Hey, some of our technical things have got some new stuff in it. It was interesting. It caught me by surprise. Anyway, whoa, there's something
Well,
new.
anyway, back to on topic. Well, our audience is already commenting on what they're already giving their stance. Connie says, no, don't work while sick.
Well,
And Connie, that is my stance as well.
I have a confession.
You're sick right now.
I often go to work sick if I have a cold. I don't go to work if I have COVID. That one I don't do. But
Oh,
if
that's
I'm-
where you draw the line?
Yeah, or if I have a fever, like if I'm, have 101, 102 fever, no, I don't go to work. But, if I'm just have a cold and I'm stuffy and all that kind of stuff, yeah, I'm going to work.
And so you can infect everybody else who's there?
Well, fortunately in my job, I don't have to interact with many people.
But you do still interact with
No,
some
I don't
people.
interact with anyone.
Yeah, you do. You do.
No, yeah. Who? Who?
I don't know their names. I'm not talking about your coworkers. Like when you get in your truck and you drive
Yeah.
and you get to the customer, do you interact with the thanks for the reenactment?
Pull up.
Do you get out of?
Here's my paperwork. Stay 10 feet away.
But they still have touched your paperwork with all your germs on it, right?
Germs on my paperwork?
Yeah. Spreading your germs everywhere.
Maybe they put their germs on my paperwork.
Maybe they did. Maybe that's how you got sick in the first place.
So you see, it's all right.
No, it's not. You probably got those people sick.
It's all right. It's all right. Somebody got me sick. How did I get sick?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
How
of
did
you,
I get sick?
You
How
all
did I?
went to work when you're sick, and you got other people sick.
I know.
We're getting lots of comments, but before I get to them, I want to read a survey that because I'm a curious person.
Is your stance that
don't go to work
don't
when you're
go to
sick?
work sick?
Now,
Look,
when I was working remotely, that was a little different. I would still work because I was in a room all by myself. But if I had, and that's if I had a cold. But if I had the flu or anything else that would make me foggy, because I have to think to do my job,
Yeah.
I would not go to work. I would be like, sorry, no. So no. So
the show must go on.
yes,
The show must go on.
Well, this audience knows there have been times that we didn't do a show
because you were sick.
because I was sick. Because I don't go to work when I'm sick, and this
never.
I consider this.
Never did we cancel a show when I was sick because the show
Even though I tried?
must go on.
Okay. Well, in the survey, because I do want to get to our audience comments because a lot of them are coming in, which is great. A 2024 survey from the University of Florida said that I looked into reasons why people go to work when they're sick.
Okay.
And the number one reason is workplace culture. There's something called presenteeism pressure where companies and businesses have a culture where they encourage their employees, either knowingly or unknowingly. The definition is unknowingly, but I think most companies are quite aware that they're encouraging employees to do this, to just push through their physical and mental illnesses at work. And I just think that's like that should be a crime.
But let me tell you, part of the reason I continue to go into work is because of ageism. Okay? I am like the oldest person where I work, okay? So I don't want to be the one going out sick. Let all the youngins be the ones going out sick, but not me. I'm always there because I'm tough.
Because you think if you're not there, they're going to take your job away? Is it fear?
Nah, they'll talk about me. They'll be,
because you're old.
That old man's so old. He's sick all the time. He can't do nothing. Why do they even keep him here? Because he's sick all the time, and
Well, other reasons why people go to work when they're sick is first reason is the workplace culture. The culture encourages that where you work. Second thing, too much work to do. Now, I've had jobs where if I didn't go to work, the work wasn't done while I was gone. I've had jobs like that. So it was still waiting for me, plus more when I got back. So some people just don't want to go through that. So they just push through.
No, that reason I do not do.
How about this one? Don't want to use their sick time.
Yes, I do that one. Don't want to use my sick time.
You do that one. And I don't understand that either. It's like you have sick time for a reason.
But
use when you're sick.
But I'm old. I might need to save my sick time for like when I really, really get sick. When I'm really sick. Just a cold.
Well, what's really sick to you?
COVID. That's really sick.
Okay.
Appendicitis. That's really sick.
If
Broken
you're in the hospital,
leg,
then that's
really
a good
sick.
reason not to go to work.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Well,
something for real.
Well, let's see what our audience has been saying.
We've
They've
got
been saying a lot.
We've got, I think.
Okay. So we back to Connie. We already know that Connie agrees with me. No, don't work while you're sick.
Okay.
John says, why is that odd?
See?
We worked in a TV news shop, for Christ's sake. We were all saying, that's why I don't do it anymore, John.
That's right.
Now I don't have to. So that's why I don't do it anymore.
Look, you got to do the job. You got to do the job. You push through. Yes.
Well, the married couple. Oh, by the way, Dave and Sam, I know that your wedding anniversary is May 4th because I remember it because May the 4th be with you, right? Isn't that right? So happy belated anniversary.
Happy belated anniversary.
All right. Yes. So Dave and Sam.
And y'all check out their show, The Married Couple Podcast.
Yes, it's on YouTube. You can definitely find it.
Actually, it's on tonight.
Yep.
When a half hour after our show ends.
So it's the top of the hour. Yes.
Yeah, the top of the hour.
I was like, I have to do that math. Okay. And it's a fun show. They always make you laugh. They say, one of them says, I work every day unless I can't move in bed. That's a good reason not to work.
Yeah. So if I can move, if I can get out of bed.
If you can get out of bed, you'll go to work.
Yeah.
But what if you're like all achy and it's a struggle to get out of bed? What happens then?
I still get out of bed. You know, I still move. If I can still do my job, that's how I decide.
Now that's a good point. If you can still do your job, and that's how I draw the line probably quicker, because I can't be foggy and do my job well. You know, I've tried it. Like I didn't test positive for COVID when you had COVID. But I had all your symptoms. I had all the same symptoms, so I probably did have COVID. But I was working remotely, so I told my boss at the time, I was like, I'll still work. And she's like, are you sure? And so she asked me to do the simplest thing, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I was like, oh, you know what? I can't hang. I can't hang. So even though I was home, I couldn't do it.
The difference is, Jill.
Yes.
I'm just tougher than you.
You are tougher than me. You are. Especially your head. And that's not a joke. That's true.
I have a really hard head.
He has a really hard head. It's true. And I do not.
If you bump heads with me, chances are you're going down. You know, accidental bump heads by accident. Yeah, chances are you go
knocked
down.
out.
This is like granite.
Yep. Well, Ronaldo has a different perspective. Ronaldo says, when you develop the bad habit of eating, you may not have a choice.
That's right. You got to go in, make that money.
Yes, but if you have sick days and you're still getting paid, you're still making the money by not working that day.
What if you work for yourself?
That's different.
Yeah, what's different about it? What is different about it?
Sometimes depending on
if you're the boss, you're self-employed and you can take off when you want. If you're the one that
like you know, I have side things that I do, side projects that I do, and if I can't work, I can't finish the project, and the project won't be complete until I do finish it. Mm-hmm. So, in my case, it just delays being paid. Not that I can't eat, it delays being paid.
Guess you're not living day to day.
No, thank goodness. I'm not
living day to day.
The married couple says, yes, I could contaminate those folks, but they probably gave it to me anyway. That's what
right.
You
That's
said.
what I'm saying. You know, look, I recently had a cold. Actually, I'm getting over the cold now. Okay, I'm still doing the show because the show must go on.
You can hear it, can't you? Can't you hear the congestion in his voice?
Anyway,
I'm probably going to be sick tomorrow because I'm sitting here with this contaminated person.
I know where I got the cold from. I volunteered.
Oh, you were
last weekend
around a bunch of people.
I was around a whole lot of people. The next day, by the evening, I felt sick.
Can you narrow it down to who specifically?
No, I cannot do that.
Well, I wasn't going to ask you to name names anyway.
Too many. I was around
there was
too
hundreds
many
of people there.
Yes. So I don't know where it came from, but I know it probably came from that event.
Connie says employers don't appreciate the sick time that you give them. That is true because you're just giving back what they already gave to you.
They don't, but I don't do it for them. I do it for me. That's the difference. I do it for me.
Okay. I guess I understand that, maybe. I don't know.
It's a little different.
Okay. John says 2 questions. 1, are you contagious? I think you are.
Let's see. If Jill can't do
if
the
I
show
can't
next
talk
week.
next time, we'll know how that show's going to go. And I'm going to show up, even though I don't normally do this show when I'm sick. I will show up just to prove a point.
No, she will not show up. She will not show up because
that's what I do.
That's for you. No, I'm too sick to do the show. That's what'll happen.
I do. I draw the line. And then his second question is, are you still able to function on the job? That's a huge part of it, just as we were talking about.
I am, yeah.
And he says, if you answer yes to either question, definitely stay home. Agreed.
If you're able
to if you answered yes to either of those questions, are you contagious? Are you... Oh, wait. Are you still able to function on the job?
That's yes.
Oh, he says definitely stay home.
No, I think you're confused, John.
John agrees with me. That's my takeaway from that.
I don't think so.
That's my takeaway from that.
I don't think so.
The married couple says, usually I get sick on the weekends because Sam gives me her illness every time. Well, that's the way you're supposed to do it in a marriage, Dave.
Well, I'm not trying to.
If anybody gives either one of the either partner, that's the order it's supposed to go.
Really?
Although this time I did not make you sick.
And you didn't get sick either, so I didn't make you sick.
Yet.
This is good.
Yet.
I kept it to myself.
I'm going to talk about you next week if I get sick. I am.
I kept it to myself. You see? But that's how I am.
Oh, John says he had to edit his last post. So he was saying if you're not able to function on the job is what I think he was saying.
Yeah,
then you stay home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. And I do agree with that.
Oh, here it is. He fixed it. Yes. Are you not able to function on the job? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. Okay.
Right. Excellent.
And the married couple says, thank you so much. I'm sure that was to our anniversary wishes.
Okay. Cool.
And then Connie says, today people take mental health days. Yes, they do, and they should. We have a friend, in fact, who was on the show one time, her name, in fact, she mentioned it during the show, Dr. Chris Marsh, who wrote about the Love Jones cohort, which is about being single and living alone. And every Monday is her mental health Monday. That's what she calls it. Today, people take mental health days. That didn't exist back in the day. It sure didn't. You couldn't call in like that. And I'm not even sure people call in like that.
Well, yeah, they'll have to call it
like
something else.
They'll say it to
I'm
other
sick.
people differently, like behind the scenes. But
I'm sick.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Although, when I was managing people, I would have accepted that if they I need a mental health day. Okay.
There is a kind of a stigma
about mental health days.
Yeah.
Probably need those more than for physical health.
Yeah, but if you go in and you call your boss and hey, I'm not coming in today. I needed a mental health day. They will talk about you. In most places, they will talk bad about you.
Well, that's on them. That's how petty they are.
But that's not the point. The reality is...
Because like I said, when I was managing people, if anyone had said to me, Jill, I need tomorrow off for a mental health day, I would be like, okay.
In most places, there's a stigma attached, and they will talk about you.
Well, that's just not right.
I know it's not right, but there is a stigma attached, because you be called, hey, I need a mental health day. You know, the hell is that?
Well, I mean,
what the hell is that?
that can be as serious as your physical health. So
yes,
they should take that very seriously.
I do agree. I absolutely do agree. But maybe that is why some of us feel like we still need to go in when we're sick because we grew up in
presenteeism pressure. That's what it's called.
Yeah, that's yeah.
But see,
if you just say
think
you're
about
sick,
that though,
they don't do anything too crazy. Oh, he's sick, or she's sick. And
yeah, but then there's the opposite of presenteeism, which is absenteeism, where you just don't come in at all ever.
Yeah.
Well, should we get to our last segment?
Sure.
Because we're running out of time. Oh, Connie has one more comment. Stigma, not so much today.
I disagree.
No, I
disagree.
People can talk more openly about their mental health today. I agree with that. But in some industries, I should say, because definitely not in your industry. And then John said, as Ronaldo said, when you develop the bad habit of cracking up, you may not have a choice. Okay, let's get to our last segment that we call
I'm trying to help you.
Okay, advice I should give you advice.
Yeah,
I should give you advice because you're the one that's willing to still work when you're sick. Even though I'll say to you, are you sure, sweetheart? Are you sure, sweetheart? Shouldn't you just stay at home? You've got plenty of sick days.
Here's my...
You have advice for yourself?
Well, to you, has it ever backfired on me?
What is it? Like, in terms of what?
Like
you came home early?
Like I said,
you came home early the day you were sick. The first day, you did come home early.
No, not because I wasn't feeling well. It was just because I had started at 4 a.m. earlier.
But you came home and you weren't feeling well.
No, I wasn't feeling well, but I still worked.
And you went straight to bed.
Yes, but I still worked like 10 hours that day. Even though I came home early, I worked 10 hours.
That's just working too hard.
But, so I'm saying, it did not backfire on me. I did the job. Early for me was still a long day for someone else. And
true.
I did it while sick.
That is true. But now you're still sick.
No,
and you might have gotten over it more quicker. You might have gotten beyond it quicker if you had just taken the time to rest. That's what colds need.
No one even knew I was sick.
I did.
Because I told you.
They knew you were sick too. They may not have said anything.
They didn't know I was sick. If they said anything, allergies.
Well, my advice is if you are fortunate enough to work in a job that gives you sick days, take them. Now, I said to you when you took the job you have now, it's like your PTO and your sick days are separate. Wow. Because guess what? I've never worked in a place that had them separate. Okay. Ever.
Yeah, because you worked at places that gave you 6 weeks vacation.
That was only one place. Everybody else gave you 2 weeks, and then the longer you stayed there, you could take more time off.
Yeah.
But there was only one place that gave me 6 weeks when I walked in the door.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So my advice, if you have sick days, take them when you need them. Because you're not, you're probably not doing your job as well if you don't, depending on how sick you are.
Yeah, it depends how sick you are.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I had COVID, I don't go to work.
And in my job, if I did things when I'm foggy, I would just have to do it over. So it takes twice as long. Yeah. Twice as much time to do it.
Yeah, but
and to do it well.
But really, if I'm not endangering myself or endangering someone else, I will go to work.
Okay.
Yeah, for the most part.
We'll agree to disagree on this one.
Okay. We'll revisit this in a year.
Or next week if I'm sick. John has a question. Where in the wide world of sports was that? If you're talking about the 6 weeks of vacation, that was this cable network that's in Atlanta.
Yeah.
That shall go nameless.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I'll say. That was the one thing I liked about working there.
3 letters.
Yes, 3 letters.
Yeah.
Okay, that was one of the few things that I liked about working there. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, shall we wrap it up?
Sure, we can wrap it up.
Okay.
Oh, I guess I'm supposed to be wrapping it up. After the show, anyone? After show, anyone? See, I didn't even say that right. We need your input.
Sick.
We need your input. Tell us what type of shows you want or what type of guests you would like. And remember, please like and subscribe. It will help us. Thank you very much. Also, come back next week. If you listen to us and just replay, come back live. And that's every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And you can also check out replays and watch the show on Jill's website, which is jillcoxcordova.com, and click the podcaster tab. Yeah.
Oh, Connie says, good show. Thanks, Connie.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank
for being here.
Thank you,
and
everyone.
thank you, audience. Like, you all really make
comes
this
in.
show. Because, if it's just the two of us, I'm not quite sure how that would go.
We did just the two of us for 3 years.
And that was fun.
and some of our earlier episodes still get some of the largest listens.
That's true.
Actually.
That's true.
All right, well, Jill, we need to wrap this up.
Okay, bye, everybody. Thank you. We'll be back next week.
And we love you all.
Love you all.
We really do. I can look you in the eye and say that we love you all.